What is today's fantastic battle? Who are the brave combatants and who will be victorious? You will decide their fate and determine the outcome in this fantastic battle. It's Electro Man Ernest versus Magneto. Again, and as always, it's called Fantastic Battles for a reason, and this one may seem a little silly. But is it really that silly? Let's consider the facts. Both of these combatants possess magnetic capabilities. Magneto, however, does seem to have the upper hand when it comes to that because he is more powerful in that aspect. And Electro Man's magnetic capabilities seem to be more uncontrollable, undisciplined, and appear to be more of a burden than a superpower. But that was the point of this capability because it is more comic relief than it would be useful. For the sake of fantastic argument, let's assume that Ernest is able to control this capability. And if that is indeed the case, he would give Magneto quite the problem. You see, Magneto has the power of magnetism and therefore can manipulate metal. Ernest, however, is himself magnetized. And both of them being of magnetization, we could probably safely assume that they are both of similar polarity and therefore would actually repel each other. Meaning that Magneto more than likely would not have much of an effect on Electro Man Ernest. He would throw a big hunk of metal at him and the hunk of metal would just simply reflect right off of him. And in fact, Magneto might not even be able to get close to him. And vice versa. But that's all speculation and most certainly the best case scenario for Electro Man. Now, Electro Man is magnetized while Magneto has the power to magnetize. If they have opposite polarities, Magneto would have complete control over him, which would spell disaster for Electro Man and he would not be triumphant in this battle. So in all fairness, the stipulation in this battle would be that they are of similar polarities, which admittedly would make things sort of difficult for Magneto, but would still give him a fighting chance. Electro Man also has the ability of conducing, and concentrating electricity into weaponized bolts similar to lightning, which gives him quite the advantage and makes him rather dangerous at a distance. However, as we see in Ernest Goes to Jail, it's very short-lived. Yeah, this ability doesn't seem to last very long, but long enough to be useful. Electro Man, and more so the Ernest character in general, seems to have a rather strange ability, and that is the ability of dumb luck, meaning that whatever situation he may find himself in, he always seems to find a way out of it, or rather the way out finds him. You might be asking, why is this even a matchup? I mean, Magneto's gotta be way more powerful than Ernest, right? Well, it's a just question, but consider this. In Ernest Goes to Jail, within the first 5 minutes of the film, we see Ernest get electrocuted. And given the setup of the movie, it's comical, even though this would be fatal. And it comes off as a joke.
Workplace fatalities are funny.
And more than just a joke, because this is a major premise of the movie, as being fatally electrocuted gives Ernest his magnetization powers. So not only does he survive being fatally electrocuted, but it also gives him superpowers. And it doesn't stop there. He doesn't just get fatally electrocuted once, but 4 times throughout the movie. And one of those times is in a goddamned electric chair because he was being executed. So he survives 4 times over in what would be the death of a mere mortal man. And that's still not all. At the end of the film, not only does he survive a massive explosion, but also a giant free fall. Yeah, I know, he lands on Nash, which was supposed to absorb the impact, but still, from that distance, that would have turned both of them into liquid shit. Liquid shit. Liquid shit. Now, you might be saying, hey, it's a comedy movie, it's gonna do that. Whatever, it's good for a laugh, yada yada yada. Okay, yeah, it is a comedy movie, but not a cartoon. And having someone survive what would be the death of anyone else in a live-action movie is sort of strange. And therefore, we could assume that whatever dimension this movie takes place in, death does not exist. But in this film, we see that death indeed exists. Because one of the main baddies, Reuben Bartlett, is in trouble for killing somebody in prison. So death is clearly evident in this universe, and Ernest should have died within the first 5 minutes of the movie. But he didn't die, giving us no other choice but to believe that Ernest is a superhuman. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggerated assumption, but suspension of disbelief only goes so far. Either way, Ernest seems resilient to death, and we have no evidence that says Magneto isn't as well, but we also don't have any that says he is. So Electro Man Ernest may not be as powerful as Magneto, but he certainly could put up with anything Magneto threw at him. And all in all, I think Ernest could hold his own against Magneto. Now it's up to you. What do you think? Decide the outcome by voting on who you think would win this fantastic battle. There's a couple different ways to vote. You can vote right here on Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship YouTube channel in the community section, or you can vote via reaction icon on the Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship Facebook page, and you can join the Fantastic Battles Facebook group and vote there. And you could also vote via reaction icon on the official Fantastic Battles Facebook page. With all these different options, you can vote up to 4 times. So go ahead, get them in. Show the world who you think would win this matchup in Fantastic Battles!